With Halloween being Thursday night, the OHL schedule a little thrown off this week. There will be no games Thursday night, but we do have two to look forward to tonight. The Kitchener Rangers looking to extend their unbeaten streak, and they're going to take on Sarnia tonight, while the Peterborough Petes still looking for their first win of the regular season. Right now on that 12-game losing streak, they're going to take on the Niagara Ice Dogs at the PMC. So two games with a lot on the line, so it's going to be fun to watch here tonight. But earlier today, the CHL Top 10 ranking was released. Moncton, the Wildcats out of the QMJHL for the third week in a row, are ranked number one in junior hockey. And for the Wildcats, it's been quite the season. They have the highest winning percentage right now in all of the CHL. So they're being recognized there. But coming in at number two, the Windsor Spitfires. They've been on a roll themselves. They're on a 5-game winning streak right now. They are top spot in the OHL's Western Conference, so nice to see the Spitfires being recognized. Also making the cut from the OHL, the London Knights, they're in the number 5 spot. The Niagara Ice Dogs, they're 8th in the CHL Top 10. And rounding out the Top 10, the Brampton Steelheads. They tumbled down the rankings, but they're holding on right now in that number 10 spot. So it's nice to see the 4 teams being recognized. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen the Kitchener Rangers on the CHL Top 10 as of yet, considering the point streak they have been on, but really the CHL Top 10 doesn't really mean much when it comes to the standings. It's just kind of bragging rights and letting everyone debate why their team should be considered for the top 10. So just wanted to mention that here. Now there is a big meeting taking place in the city of Brantford tonight. City Council, they are expected to formally approve the $140 million new arena. So earlier this month, during the Committee of the Whole, they gave all their approvals. They heard from community members who spoke for and against the plan to build the 5,000-seat arena. And that night, they gave their formal approval. And tonight, we'll make it official that the 5,000-seat arena will be built next to the current Brantford Civic and District arena, and which means the Brantford Bulldogs, they have a long-term home to look forward to. Sounds like construction could begin as early as next year, and they want to have this arena open and running in 2028, which is about the same time as the Sudbury Wolves, who are in the process of building their new facility. So some exciting times for the Brantford Bulldogs and their fans, as they've been well embraced since coming over from Hamilton a year ago. Last year, it was just the atmosphere. I got to go to one of the Barrie Colt games in Brantford, and it was an amazing atmosphere. It's the smallest rink right now in the OHL, and the fans right on top of the action. They're showing their passion, and that's been continuing this year as the Bulldogs looking to have a strong season. So we're going to continue to talk about the Bulldogs, because about the time we found out about the new arena plans being approved by the committee, the team started winning. They're on a 7-game point streak. They are 5-0-2 over that stretch, and right now sitting second in the East Division with 14 points, 1 point back of the Oshawa Generals, who they have 3 games in hand on. So the East Division pretty tight right now. And for Brantford, they were one of the 4 teams before the season got underway as a contender for the East Division or Eastern Conference. The other 3 teams being Oshawa, Brampton, and Barrie. But for the Bulldogs, they made the splash. They acquired Ryerson Leanders, and it got off to a bit of a slow start to the regular season, but they've really picked it up over their last 7 games, although there's one stat that stands out, and we'll get to that in just a moment. So for the Brantford Bulldogs during this stretch, the winning streak started on October 9th when they defeated the Sarnia Sting 5-1. That was on home ice, and then they were on the road. They won 6-3 in Ottawa and 3-2 in Kingston, and then they've gone into a stretch of playing in overtime. Their last 4 games have either ended in overtime or a shootout. They lost to North Bay in an overtime game on the 18th by a score of 3-2. Then they defeated Kingston in overtime 4-3 on the 19th. They lost in London in overtime on the 25th. And most recently on Saturday, they defeated the Peterborough Petes in a shootout by a score of 4-3. So that's where we stand right now. Going forward, their schedule doesn't get any easier. They're going to play a 3-3 this weekend. It starts Friday at home against the Erie Otters. They host Sudbury on Saturday, and then they visit the Oshawa Generals, who've been playing much better of late, on Sunday. And then after that, they've got home games against Guelph, Niagara, and then they play the 2 big teams out of the Central Division, Brampton and Barrie, on November 10th and 13th. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this team stands out, because this is a Brantford Bulldogs team. Like I said, many had expected to contend in the Eastern Conference, and if they can continue to get points like this, they should continue to challenge for first place in the East Division. Now, looking at the points over these last 7 games, your point leaders, Nick Lardis, he leads the way, 9 goals, 2 assists, 11 points over the last 7 games. Calvin Crombie, a goal, 10 assists, 11 points. Patrick Thomas, he has a goal and 9 assists, good for 10 points. Jake O'Brien, last year's Rookie of the Year, he had 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points over the 7-game stretch. Cole Brown, 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points. Luca Testa, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points over the last 7 games. Noah Roberts, a goal and 4 assists for 5 points. Owen Protz, a goal and 3 assists for 4 points. Zachary Lavoie, the overager, a goal and 2 assists for 3 points over the last 7 games. And Nicholas Rosado, the rookie, 2 assists over these last 7 games. So you're seeing a lot of contributors here with the scoring, but of course, Nick Lardis leading the way. He's the Chicago Blackhawks prospect. Expect him to have a big year, because last year he carried the Brantford Bulldogs on his back at times as this team pushed for home ice advantage in the playoffs last year. He had that injury that took him out for the second half of the season, so we'll see. Hopefully Lardis is able to stay healthy throughout the course of the regular season, but those are the big names that you need to contribute offensively. And in net, Ryerson Leanders, a record of 3-0-1 over this point streak, a .922 save percentage, which is not too shabby. And then David Igorov playing the role of backup, a record of 2-0-1 during this 7-game point streak, and he has a .917 save percentage. So goaltending-wise, not too bad. But the thing that stands out to me the most about this point streak is the fact that the Bulldogs have the league worst power play at 5.3%. That's not something you expect from a team that continues to win or pushing for top spots. So you have to start to wonder, when is specialty teams going to be a factor in slowing down this Brantford Bulldogs team? Because in the season so far, they're 2 for 38 on the power play. So just 2 power play goals from Nick Lardis and Zachary Lavoie. And the 38 power play attempts, that's the fewest amount of power plays in the OHL. So Brantford not getting it done when they have the man advantage, but they're also not getting a lot of power plays right now. So I'm sure it's still early in the season. The coaching staff's going to try to address this to try and get that power play to be more successful, especially if you're not getting as many power play opportunities. But I think the signs are pointing there that this team is heading in the right direction. Expect the Brantford Bulldogs at some point look to add maybe closer to the OHL trade deadline, because they do have some assets. They could bring in some veteran players to address goal scoring, maybe address the defense. But still, I do like the pieces on this Brantford Bulldogs team. The 7-game point streak has been fun to follow. It's been interesting, though. Like I said, the last 4 games have gone into overtime or a shootout. So we'll see if they can maybe start to win more games in regulation. But still, the extra points do help in the long run as they try to keep pace with the Oshawa Generals for top spot in the East Division. So that's how I see it from the booth. I just wanted to do a breakdown of the point streak for the Brantford Bulldogs, because it's been kind of quiet. Not many talking about Brantford right now and the success that they have. Although the lack of scoring on the power play, a bit of a concern, and we'll see how they address that going forward. So that's how I see it. Like I said, thank you very much for all your support. In the comments section down below, let me know what you think of the recent play of the Bulldogs, if you're a fan of Brantford, or how excited are you about the new arena being approved tonight by Brantford City Council. Thank you again for all your support. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Talk to you again soon.